Good evening, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Aussie Gamers Experience Podcast. Joining me live in the cave this week is the one and only Grejio, and we're going to go over the crazy week that was.
Crazy indeed.
Crazy indeed. So sit back, relax, and get ready for some more PS5 Rumours. E3 is riding the Razers Edge. Hunting in New York. Something just for Lucas. A new HBO series. Show us your ID, Pets Founder buys console, and much, much more. Editing Lucas, let's go!
This is the Aussie Gamers Experience video game podcast. This show is recorded during temperatures in summer that are too hot for dragons, and in winter, colder than my mother-in-law's heart. So join us as we discuss video games as best we can, all while dodging redback spiders, brown snakes, and all those other things that try to hurt, maim, or even kill us. But remember, all we need to do is stay alive long enough to see the release of that next awesome video game. Enjoy the show.
Thank you for tuning into episode 290 this week. Today is Monday, the 9th of March. Grejio, welcome, good sir.
Thank you.
Have you had a fun week?
Fun week. Fun is not the first word that comes to mind. However, I've had a good week.
You've had a good week?
I've had a good week. I'm still healthy. I'm not dying.
Well, that's a plus.
My family is not dying. I still have a job that I can go to and get paid to do. I cannot buy toilet paper to save myself, which is before the vein starts popping. Let's just say, yeah, I've had a good week. Like, I had a good weekend.
Well, I went to I did a few things outside of the house this weekend. I actually left the house for a change. Not something I like doing.
I was going to say, you've picked a really weird time to decide to choose that vocation.
Yeah, well, I don't mind the bit of cool weather and absolutely pissing down most of the weekend, which was part of the fun. But we went to Sydney Zoo.
Oh, all right. Blacktown Zoo.
Yes! Yes!
Yes!
Oh...
G'day everyone, Editing Lucas jumping in very early in the show this week. Now, I've made an executive decision to completely remove and delete the first 15 minutes of this week's show, simply because, and I'll give you a rundown just in case you're a little bit worried about what you're missing, Greg talking about being vomited on by a newborn baby, and Snoogs talking about a shitty zoo in Sydney, aka Blacktown. Not the most riveting stuff unless you're, I don't know, a parent and like to hear about family-oriented things like fluffy animals and sputum coming from a baby. If you do wish to hear the unedited version, then just deposit $400 into the Aussie Gamers Experience PayPal account and I'll shoot you the unedited audio files. However, if you're here for video games, which I reckon most of you are, let's get on with the rest of the show, shall we?
Anyway, I think we've had this discussion already.
Yeah, we have.
Let's talk about games, man.
Let's jump into this week in gaming. Just to see where everyone's thinking, where the hell are these guys going this week? This week in gaming, back in 2000.
Yes.
So 20 years ago this week, the PS2 was released. It's probably that console that really brought, I suppose, a greater audience into the console world, I guess.
So yeah, it's 20 now. It's going to the clubs, drinking, vaping, trying to be cool, hanging out with friends. Cool. 20-year-olds think so.
Okay, fair enough. That's a millennial. Yep.
Someone's gonna fire up. I know. You're right. It wasn't $749. I think you're supposed to put the dollar signs first, Radicus, but that's cool.
Was it really that much?
No, it wasn't that much.
I don't remember it being that much.
So, from memory, there was two versions of the PS. PS2 when it came out. There was the one that had all the extra ports. And
No, that was the PS3.
Wasn't there one for the PS2 as well? Wasn't there like
so.
there was like
No, because the PS2 still had.
Yeah,
memory cards.
I know it's still memory. I thought there was like but maybe I'm getting confused.
The PS3 had like the SD card reader and all that jazz in it.
Yeah.
But
Maybe
no, I think there was only the fat version of the PS2 that first came out.
probably. I'm probably talking
And
about
then towards the end of it, they brought out the PS Slim.
Yep.
Or PS2 Slim, which I never had because I didn't want. It looked like you could break it. It was tiny.
Yeah. No,
My original lasted all the way through, and I ended up trading that in along with my ridiculous
yes,
catalogue
yes,
of games
yes.
that I ended up getting.
I remember. I remember you trading your PS2 in for a PS3.
Yeah, and I paid $30 for my PS3.
Yes, and I remember, like, I got a PS3, and I'm like, yeah, come on. I went over to your house, and I remember we used the AVI cables to plug it in.
Yes.
And then we played, what was that first game? That Motorstorm.
Oh, yep.
The Motorstorm was the first game we played on your PS3.
Yep.
And we're playing it, we're like, jeez, this is awesome. Like, this is a really cool game.
Yep.
But the menu, like, the load screens were, like, really weird. We're like, just, like, really sort of cool color, sort of collages of color kind of thing. We're like, yeah, alright, that's cool. The picture inside, like, the car was fine, but it just had this fancy border around the outside. Mm-hmm. And then we finally got a HDMI cable. We plugged it in. And all of a sudden, there's tips and hints written in the borders that we couldn't read because the AVI cables were so shit. It was just unreadable. And we're just like, oh my goodness. It changed. Like, I remember it's just like, oh my goodness. This like changed our world at the time. We were just like, oh my goodness. But getting back to the PS2.
Yes.
Because that was PS3.
Manhunt.
Yes, Manhunt. So it was the first console that I actually owned.
Okay, yep.
So I got one, I would have been 18. Yeah, I got one for my 18th birthday. My parents bought it for me, which was a massive thing because at that point in time in my life, my parents didn't buy anything cool like that. They weren't exactly hip parents, right? So anyway, they got me one, and Gran Turismo 3 was the first game I had on it, obviously, and I smashed that game out so hard, so good. Did you end up having one the yellow light of death?
That was again the 3.
Yeah, but these ones crashed as well. These ones burned. Yeah, these ones burned too.
Mine
once again
didn't miss a beat the whole way through.
So maybe it wasn't yellow light, but there was the first set that came out.
Yeah.
Because this was where I said I'm not buying the first of anything that Sony brings out because they tend to be having inherent bugs and problems and they die, right? The PS2 had that. So obviously I missed that first batch. Mine was really good. I had mine almost the entire life cycle.
Yeah, I had mine the entire. It didn't skip a beat.
But it eventually got to a point where it stopped reading my discs.
Yep.
But there was one game that it could read, right? Which was Orphan. Right?
Yeah.
Now, we're gonna have a stroll down memory lane right now. Anyone that lived back in this day, this will all feel really familiar and you'll love the nostalgia of this. So Orphan, I bought secondhand from Video Easy. Right? The local one down at Emu Plains. I went down, bought it. It was super cheap. It was like $10 bargain basement thing. I bought it. It was my first introduction to JRPGs. Mm-hmm. And I hated it. Straight up, I just hated this game. I tried really hard. Like I put my money into this. So I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna play this. But I couldn't. I think I played about half an hour, and I was like, no, I can't do this anymore. No, I'm done. So I never played it again. Then I had my PS2 carked it, right? So I took it down the cashies with my copy of Orphan and traded it in. I got some cash for it.
Yeah.
Right. I then took that cash and then went and bought another PS2.
Yep.
And that was sweet. Like that lasted me until I too also packed it into a bag and then I took a backpack full of games.
Yep.
Like, and it was chock. Like, my backpack was like ramped, like it almost not do it up. And I remember that was also for my birthday because my mum was like, "You trade in all your shit, and I'll pay the difference for your birthday." And I was like, "Sweet, cool, done." So I remember just unloading this backpack full of games, and the dude's just going, "Yep, no, yep, no." I think I took back half a backpack full of games because it was like, "No, we're not taking those, but we'll take all these."
Yep.
And yeah, I think she like paid $100 or something. For that
Yeah.
for it. And then we had a ball after that because shortly after that we started living together.
Yeah, it would have been. Yeah.
And so we had lots of PS3 Modern Warfare fun. Like, the first time it came out.
Yeah, the first time around. Yeah, yelling at each other from other ends of the house.
Yeah. Running cables all the way through the house so we didn't, like, just buying, like, meters and meters of network cable, just running through the... No, we're not going to run it through the wall. Screw that, just run it through the house.
Run it through the house. Ah, it's all good. Ah, nice little trip down memory lane for the 20-year anniversary of the
Happy
PS2.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Let's jump into some games that we've been playing this week.
Totally.
So I've been playing Plague Inc. this week. Not really, I just went shopping for toilet paper. I have fired up Plague Inc. just because I saw it in my list and I went, oh, I've still got it, I'll have a crack at it.
Sure.
And then I was having a bit of a laugh with myself going, oh yeah, this is a good time to be playing this game. There was nothing in there about toilet paper shortages though.
Funnily enough, because that would be something absurd that doesn't happen in reality, right?
Toilet paper, what was it, toilet paper
Do we really want... we've just gotten back on the topic of talking about games. Do you really want me to
No.
grind my gears over this?
We'll come back to that in the news.
Yeah.
So, Plague Inc., for anyone that doesn't know, is a game that is pretty much create a virus, release it upon the world, mutate it, and you play it on your mobile.
Do you get to name it?
I think you do.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what
cool.
obviously, I'm asking this question knowing that you obviously don't remember what you called it.
No, I don't know.
Because you barely remembered that you named it.
Yeah, I probably did. It was one of those ones where, you can play it and beat it in a matter of 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was one of those ones where I was at lunch, I could have done something constructive or play a game. So I played a game.
Fair enough.
Yes. Mate, we don't have much to talk about with games this week. I jumped back into some more COD.
Mm-hmm.
There's some rumours about COD with the Battle Royale releasing any day now, sort of around the 10th. So when you listen to this on Sunday, there's a good chance it will already be out. I just saw another rumour before we started that it's going to be a PlayStation exclusive for the first week. Which, wow.
Why did you bother?
Yeah, well, that's exactly that. Why make it cross-play and then make it PlayStation exclusive? Normally, the PS fan in me goes, ha, 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 ha. And then I remember everyone that I play with is on the Xbox.
And that's the sound we make.
Yes. So, the Call of Duty's been a bit of fun. I'm kind of glad I didn't pay the money for the Battle Pass for Season 2 because, the Battle Pass was a big driving force for me last time around. But now I've been sort of, not that I've done it this week, but I've been able to expand and play a few other things and not be so much sweating to go back and play COD, which has been good. But, mate, you've been playing Grand Theft Auto as well.
Yeah, so I've kept plugging away.
Yep.
I think this time last week I was saying that I was halfway to getting the money together to become a CEO.
Yep.
I managed to do that
You've got to stop appearing offline.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I can come in and annoy you.
Yeah, see, other people use my Xbox and use my profile to do other things, and they think it's a good idea that they probably leave it offline.
Fair enough.
So that people don't go, hey, dickhead, how you doing? And it's like my 6-year-old playing on there, so...
Well, that kind of makes sense, I guess, yeah.
Yeah, and he's starting to learn how to read, so... don't need him, learning new words. Anywho, the very next night I actually smashed out the rest of the money and I became a CEO.
Nice.
Only to find out that my understanding of how the VIP work, still have no idea how that worked, right? It was only last night that I finally worked out how it all comes together. So I've now only just started doing VIP work, which is only mildly more lucrative than what I was doing anyway.
Yep.
And in some instances, depending on the group that you're playing with, it can be less lucrative because it takes you longer to make the same amount of money.
Fair enough.
So I'm slowly chipping away to the next level, which I still have to grind out because I still don't have any automated pieces for making money yet. Mm-hmm. Now, I can truly say that I have now finally met a proper griefer on GTA this week.
Yes.
There was a VIP mission that popped up, and I was like, okay, I'll have a crack at it. It wasn't triggered by me, so I just get to sort of just tag along and...
Yep.
Anyway, I was on my way and had to travel pretty much from one side of the map to the other to get to this objective, and I'm driving along, and while I'm doing that, there's the information scrolling on the side about what's happening with other players when they're dying and who's registering CEOs and stuff like that. And I'm just watching that tick away quite furiously as this dude's going on an absolute rampage, just killing people. And anyway, and bounties are popping up for this dude and everything, right? Anywho, I'm driving along, and the car I'm in is pretty missile-proof, right? Mm-hmm. I can take a few direct hits before I'm in trouble, right? Yep. So 9 times out of 10, the reason I drive this is if I do find someone that, takes exception to me, they usually fire a missile. It usually hits either me or somewhere close to me, and then I usually have enough time to leg it before they can get another one off. And usually I'm gone before they have a chance.
Yeah.
And even if they do get another one off, I'm usually pretty safe. This dude came in, guns blazing, missiles firing in this fighter jet, and just, I didn't even have a chance to get away. I was pegging along full speed, and my car just incinerated. And I was like, great, okay, fair enough. He's probably trying to stop me from getting to the objective. I'm in the middle of nowhere. My car's blown up, so I'm like, well, I'll just put in an insurance claim while I'm walking, hitchhiking through the mountains. I don't even get that. He's literally circled back around and kills me while I'm standing there. Proceeds to kill me another 5 times. There's nothing I can do. I can't pause because it boots me out of the pause menu. I can't flick out my phone because it boots me out of that. There's nothing I can do. He's just... Eventually, I have to put myself in passive mode so he can't see me anymore. But then, of course, that ruins my gaming experience because I can't bring my weapons out. I can't do anything that's deemed aggressive. Otherwise, I'm no longer... it says you can't do it because you're in passive mode.
Yep.
You have to go into your menu and undo it all, and then it takes a certain amount of time before it actually undoes. That was really frustrating. I got to admit. Having said that, that's still... one person over now what is probably 2 or 3 weeks of playing.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So yes, they're still there. There's still those douchebags there. Everyone else that's killed me, I at least can accept the reasoning behind it. Either they're getting paid to stop me from doing something, or it's in their interest, or I've got a bounty on my ass, and I get it. I don't have a problem with it. I did have one dude though. The second bounty I got on me. I was driving, and a dude in a fighter jet came along and tried to shoot me, and I managed to jump out of my car, and he ended up crashing his plane on the side of a mountain, right? And which I thought was really funny. And then he comes toddling along over the hill, and I kill him.
Yep.
Now, at this point in time, I'm sure he's probably really annoyed that his first 2 attempts at killing me to get, the $5,000 or whatever the bounty was annoying. Yep. But then he comes over, obviously, really pissed off because then whatever rifle because it was quite early on. So yeah, this goddamn massive rifle, he just one headshot, I'm dead, and that's it, done. So he comes over, he's got the bounty. So I figure, cool, I respawn in, he's going to leave me alone. Dude drives up in his car, which he's spawned, pulls up next to me, blows his horn. Because we're in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Right? He gives me a lift to the nearest town, and then lets me out. I'm just like, so one, I did, and that I really appreciate it. I'm like, clearly you didn't take it personally that I killed you because you were trying to kill me. I was just trying, because if I survived it, like, without anyone collecting the bounty, I get the money.
Yeah.
Right? So it's money in my pocket if I can survive, right? And it's money in his pocket if he can kill me. But that was it. It was just, that was the transaction. I think that's really, I thought that was a really cool interaction. That it was nice enough to go, you know what, you're clearly a low level. You weren't driving your car. You'd stolen that car to get here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Obviously, you don't have any of that kind of stuff to get you out of this hole. So here, and gave me a lift, and yeah, it's really cool.
Ah, nice. Before we jump into my last game, quick g'day to Azrael, Kazakyle, and the ultimate sex machine himself, Radicus.
Alright, Editing Lucas, jumping back in again. Now, this isn't a big deal. However, I feel I must point it out every time it's said incorrectly. Radicus has made it very clear to us that it's not ultimate sex machine. It is the unstoppable sex machine. Come on, guys, get it right.
So Radicus has tried to get back into GTA since Red Dead Redemption 2. It's lost a lot of its fun.
So you've been playing for that long now? GTA, that is.
Red Dead.
No, like Red Dead.
No
one was playing Red Dead online after the first 5 seconds of being online. So I assume you've been playing it for like at least 8-12 months now.
Mate, come and have a run on GTA with us, and we're both playing on the Xbox with it being on Game Pass at the moment. So jump in and say g'day, and we might be able to have a bit of fun there. All right, mate. On to my last game for this week. We've had the usuals. We've had a bit of Minecraft and whatnot. That's always a good switch off game for me. Mm-hmm. I'm starting to tinker a bit more with Redstone and ideas on what to do.
The addiction.
It's slowly starting. But speaking of addiction, Division 2.
Yeah, I saw that was on your list.
Yeah, Division 2 is on my list. Warlords of New York DLC.
Are you tapping for a vein, or are you just...
Yeah. I am. It's... One of the reasons I didn't get ridiculously stuck into the Division 2. Like, I did. I played a lot. I took a lot of people through... I think I've played the main story like 6 or 7 times.
Yep.
I've taken a lot of people through the story. I've done the raids. I've done everything in the base game, bar finished one of the Season 1 DLCs, because by that stage I was just... There was lots of other things coming out and whatnot. So this new DLC has just dropped, where you go back to New York. So New York's where the dollar virus all started out, and you're going back to New York to get Aaron Keener, which is one of the original rogue agents, and his 4 generals. 4 or 5 generals, whichever it is, yeah. So you've got the general... Well, I think it's the general for the cleaners. Well, that's the one I've taken out so far. And then the others, which escapes me at this stage.
Yep.
What has changed? Not a lot has changed. But then the little mechanics have.
Yep.
So when I say little mechanics, the way that the build... So it's very much, it's a looter shooter. It's a grindy sort of game. It's all about...
Are we just talking about the meta's changed? Is that
well, not so much. Well, the meta's always changing. There's always different things to do in the meta, but the way that you make your build and the way that build is integrated to show how it's working or what you're going for has had a complete overhaul.
Right.
So from when I was playing it, I think it's moved along a certain ways, but it just seems to be that the information that you need to make your build, whether it be, whether you want, a tank or a healer or a glass cannon or whatever your preferred build style is. See, I'm more of a sort of 50-50. I don't go for full out DPS, but I like to be able to take a bit as well, because I play a lot single player. I'm part of a clan and run around with them when I can, but by the time I'm jumping on them at night, most people are jumping off. So it's just that's just how it is. So I've got to build my character to work sort of overall. Mm-hmm. And it just seems to be a lot easier to actually be able to do that than it has been previously.
Sure.
But some of the big things is the story with the Division and the Division 2 was one that it really grabbed me. And the Division 2 carried on from the original story, albeit in DC instead of New York. And now you go back to New York to get Keener. And what it's kind of done is you go back into New York, you are in, I think you're in Manhattan, you're in a different area than you were previously, but the JTF who you were helping in the first one and the Division have pretty much been overrun by Keener and these generals and how they've set up, and they've just destroyed everything that you did in the original.
Yep.
So now you're going back, there's a fog of war over the entire city, which is, an old RTS phrase sort of thing, and you've got to go and, your GPS doesn't work until you've been through those areas and cleaned those areas out. You've still got your roving parties, you've still got your go here and do your save points, and all the core mechanics are still there, but there's just this other story that's built on top of it where you go and, for instance, the one I've done now, which is the Cleaners, which everything is fire. And my theory was, I'm doing that first because fire is something in this game that was always OP. If you got burnt hard unless you had specced in to have that resistance. And you had to spec in to be full resistant against it, otherwise it just tore you apart. So I went, the cap's raised from level 30 to level 40 now. So I just went, screw it, I'm at level 30, I'll start. And I've very quickly got up to level 33 or 34 now. But it just follows this nice little story where you go in, you get one of Keener's generals, and you've got her sort of generals. You go down your pyramid sort of scale, and you start taking people out and following the trail, pretty much the trail of destruction that they've left. So you go to an old JTF outpost, find the thing on fire, because the Cleaners, their idea was wherever there is the virus, burn it. Just destroy everything. So it's this old JTF outpost that you go into. There's sleeping bags, stuff on the floor. The whole place is on fire. There's no one alive except for the Cleaners. And it's a really well-written story, and it's got to the point where the other night I'm sitting there going, yeah, right, I've got to turn this off now. I don't want to, but I've got to.
Yep.
And it's well worth it, I must say.
Yep.
The price point of the DLC is 60. Well, on the PlayStation, I've had a look at it. I'm playing this on the Xbox thanks to Kat over on Twitter and Ubisoft Australia have given me a code to have a crack at it. So the difference between the Xbox and the PS Pro, where I played it originally, is absolutely massive. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of graphical glitches on the Xbox, but I'm playing on a 1S, so that's kind of to be expected in the grand scheme of things. Price was on the PlayStation Store was $65. If anyone could actually see the face that you've just pulled, it was exactly the same face as me. Now, look, I know, and editing Lucas will probably jump in here as well and call me a bit of a tight ass. That's fine. I'm well aware of that. And I just think $65 for a game that was $70 brand new with a full package. I've played a grand total of of the DLC stuff. I think this first area was about 2.5, 3 hours. So if we times that out by 4, you're getting 10 to 12 hours to finish the DLC.
Yep.
$65 for 10 to 12 hours worth of content. Yes, there's grind. Yes, there's that stuff at the end. There's end game there. But $65 for 12 hours of new content, that's where I sort of go,
Yeah. I think it's an interesting concept. And everyone will have a differing opinion on this.
100%.
And
100% people.
I'm okay with that. I think you can kind of charge for grind when you're talking about a main game. I'm not sure you can charge for grind in a DLC. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Because I don't need to pay to do more grinding. I can just grind in the main game and continue to do that. I don't need another place to do that in.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Look, I don't think. Well, I haven't got to end game of the DLC yet.
Yep.
From what I'm reading from other people that I play with or that I follow on social media that play a lot of it as well, it seems to be that there's a lot of difference in endgame. But then again, people are rebuilding themselves and then running the original raid. I don't think there's anything new about there's no details about the new raid released yet. I don't know whether that's a free update or whether it's part of this DLC or all I know is at the moment is Warlords of New York is its own standalone DLC.
Yep.
Yes, the year one content was all free.
Yep.
So you've got, I think, 3, possibly 4 bits of content from there, not including the raid.
Yep.
And now this is the first bit of paid DLC. So there's both sides of the fence.
Yeah.
You kind of sit in the middle. I just look at it as a $65 for a game that you've already sunk a lot of money into. It's a big ask.
Yeah. No, that's fair.
But I wouldn't have been upset if I did.
If you paid it.
If I paid it, I don't think I would have been upset that I played it.
I think that's a little bit telling. Then obviously there was enough content there to keep you sated.
Well, at the moment, because I've got that feeling that I got when I first started the Division 2 again. Of going through the story, of getting the details. The story is always very gripping with the Division. It was always a good idea. So because I've got that, by the time next week comes around, it could be completely different. I could be at the point where it's like, it's more grind.
Yeah.
But at the moment, I'm not too bad with it. Any other games you want to talk about, mate?
So I did remember while we were talking about this, there was one other game I did play this week.
Okay.
I won't go into too much because it's an old game, but I had a period. Obviously, I've been quite GTA centric this week, but I can't always play that game because I have little people that walk around my house, and I really don't need my 3-year-old walking around using terms like bitch and around my house. Mm-hmm. So, among other things, like my oldest is already calling it the bad guy game. The bad guy game. That's a fair. It is, and he now understands. Like this is quite. I digress, but it's a really interesting concept to see how my 6-year-old actually looks at how games are, in his mind, how games are sort of categorized. Mm-hmm. And he now, like with Need for Speed Heat, so he has a very good concept of right and wrong, right? Yep. Watching him watch me play Need for Speed Heat and watch him try and understand the ideal behind it is very interesting. Because up until now, like, everything we teach him is you should be a good person and you shouldn't want to do bad things. And yet, that's exactly the opposite of what you do in some computer games.
Yes.
So in Need for Speed Heat, you spend your entire game life breaking the law. Right? Yeah. And you intentionally do more and more to try and boost your reputation as this badass and literally get into confrontation with the police. And he has a really hard time with that. At the very beginning, he must have thought I was like some undercover cop trying to bring down all the other races, because he's like, "Are those policemen trying to help you, Daddy?" I'm like, No, they're not. Why? Are they like bad police? Like, no. Well, yes, but no. Right? That's very complicated. Let's not go there. Police are police. We're doing the wrong thing. They might be doing shady shit on the other side, but no. On the transaction that's happening right now is I'm the bad guy, right? Yep. And now with these sort of, there are times where he walks in and I might be just finishing up playing because I'm like, all right, I gotta turn this off. He'd be like, "What are you doing, Daddy?" And I'm like, I'm just playing a game. And now his first question is this a good gay game or a bad guy game? And I have to tell him which one it is. So GTA is very much I'm the bad guy game, and that's why you can't watch it. Yep. Anyway, so I can't play that all the time. So when I do have time to play, but the kids are still floating around, I was playing on the other Xbox, and it also doesn't have GTA on it. But it had the Halo Master Chief Collection. Mm-hmm. So I actually started playing Reach for like the 5th or 6th time I've started playing this game. because I was just like, I had the choice of all the Halos, and I just went, oh, I'm going to play Reach, because I love that. I love that one. So yeah, I started playing Reach again. So.
Very cool, mate. Well, let's jump into some news for the week, shall we?
Let's.
How's everyone going in the chat? You having fun over there?
They've gone silent. They're very quiet today.
Yeah.
I think, well, Kaz usually listens while he's working, so he's normally quiet at this point.
Mm.
And every now and then just chimes in. It's usually when we finish up is when he finishes up, and then he just splooges like a bunch of dirty gifs all over the chat.
Oh, you've given Radicus an open invite. Yep.
I'm not sure what Az is doing. I think Az usually... I bet if you look, Az is probably playing... Yeah, she is. She's playing Sea of Thieves right now. So she does two things at once. She listens to us while playing a game. See, she's there. I know that she does that from time to time. And then we have Radicus, who's sitting in his armchair, rocking back and forth, complaining about how he needs to turn it up because he can't hear it.
Enjoying his evening.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, mate. Well, let's jump into some news. The first bit of news, we're going to let you in on a little bit of information, and then I dare say Editing Lucas will take it from here, because I reckon he enjoyed this news, just a tad. So that is, of course, that Neil Druckmann and the creator of the series Chernobyl, which is Craig Mazin, are set to release a series based on The Last of Us.
Oh, watch out. That's boner alert for Lucas.
They're releasing a series based on The Last of Us.
Yep.
So, no information. The teaser was a firefly symbol. Do you think this is going to follow the story of Joel and Ellie? Or, which is kind of where the internet's exploded, that it's going to be a Joel and Ellie type thing? Mm-hmm. Or is it going to be in the world of The Last of Us? Or would it be a bit of both?
I'm not sure which way it's going to go. However, I think the story of Joel and Ellie is strong enough to be told again, and I think it's a brilliant story.
Oh, yeah.
I think it has every right to be told in this medium, and I think it would do well. And whether you know the story or not, like, it will be still compelling to watch.
Yes,
and I think it's almost a missed opportunity if they don't, because there's a whole bunch of people that will get to watch this that won't have played the game, will never play the game, but would still find that story just as emotionally tearing, and, like I said, it's compelling. It's just good, compelling storytelling. So if they don't, they better have something amazing to back it up. And to be fair, they should just go to Naughty Dog and say, please write us a story.
Well, that's Neil.
Yeah, right. So
Neil Druckmann is, he's part of it.
Yeah, right. Well, if that's the case, then I'm going to say it doesn't matter what comes out.
Yeah, I think
it should be compelling storytelling.
It's in good hands, but Editing Lucas, you let us know your thoughts, mate. Go for it.
Okay, Editing Lucas here. Thanks for throwing across to me, Snoogs. Now, I do have an opinion on The Last of Us coming to a HBO series, and it's one of excitement. I'm actually really happy for this, which is a no-brainer. Everybody that knows who I am knows that I am a massive fan of The Last of Us and have played it plenty of times, enough to know the story inside and out. Now, to answer the question of whether it's going to be, say, a side story in the world of The Last of Us, or if it is going to follow the journey of Joel and Ellie, well, it's kind of given away by Neil Druckmann's tweet. Now, Neil Druckmann retweeted a tweet from Naughty Dog, and this tweet from Naughty Dog said, "We're so psyched to be teaming up with HBO to create a new The Last of Us series with Neil Druckmann and some other guy from the Chernobyl series." So Neil actually retweeted that and added a little bit to it, saying, "I can't believe we get to team up with one of my favourite writers to bring Ellie and Joel's journey to HBO." Now that to me says that it's going to be the Ellie and Joel story, so I would believe that the show will probably follow quite strictly the story of the video game, but will probably also branch out and give a little bit of extra background detail to maybe some characters that we heard of in the game. For those that know the game, maybe we might hear a little bit more about Ish. Ish is a character, I think his name was Ishmael or something like that, but he signed off a lot of collectibles, which were little notes that were left around in the game with the name Ish. And it was really strange, but for people that got into the collectibles and read them, which I did, there was a really cool backstory going on, sort of paralleling the story of Ellie and Joel that was in the collectibles that a lot of people probably would have missed for not doing the collectibles, but the people that were big fans and did look at those would be really interested in seeing a little bit more development with that. And I think this HBO TV series of The Last of Us will probably be the perfect vessel to do so. Now, I'm super excited for it. However, with all the excitement comes the frustrations as well. And it's nothing to do with Naughty Dog or The Last of Us directly. They've not done anything frustrating that I've seen so far. But there are a lot of people out there making fan suggestions as to who should be playing Joel and Ellie. Now, a lot of them are actually fantastic suggestions. I don't mind Hugh Jackman for Joel. He'd be a good choice. Or Jamie Lannister, his name Nikolai, or whatever, the actor that played Jamie Lannister, the Kingslayer in Game of Thrones. He'd actually be a good fit for the role, I would say. He has the look. He's got really good acting ability. His his accents are infallible that I've heard to date. So I think he'd be a good choice for Joel. But there's plenty. There's a lot of people have even said Gerard Butler, which is another decent decision. However, I personally would like to see two new upstarts, two unknowns playing Joel and Ellie that make the role themselves, to the point where the start of their acting career is that's Joel and Ellie. Now, the one that really jerks my chain is everybody who is saying Ellen Page should be playing Ellie. I don't know who thinks, or I don't know anyone personally who thinks that would be a good idea. I think that is absolutely madness. There are a couple of reasons. A couple of them are personal. I don't like Ellen Page. There are two main reasons why I've developed a distaste for her. And the first one is her complaining about The Last of Us when it first launched, about them stealing her likeness. Look, it's neither here nor there, but you are either on the fence of saying, on the side of saying that yes, it looked exactly like Ellen Page, they stole her likeness, or like me, I don't know what you're talking about. She's a small framed female who had a similar haircut, and that's about it. So anyway, she complained about that. Naughty Dog tweaked it a little bit, changed it up so it didn't look anything like her. Made her happy, appeased her, whatever. But then the second one, she then complained about her own bloody game that was releasing at the same time, which is Beyond Two Souls, because somehow some naked 3D images of Ellen Page were leaked onto the internet. But let's make this clear. It's not Ellen Page's body. They never scanned her naked body for the game because it was never intended on being viewed. It was just a rendering, a 3D character model made by the developers, and they 3D scanned Ellen Page's head and put it on her just a body, a female body. But anyway, they leaked, and it looked like Ellen Page's naked body. I could see why she might be a little bit annoyed by that, but damn, really? Come on, it's not even your body. What are we complaining about here? So Ellen Page, to me, has just painted herself with the brush of being an absolute whinging complainer. I don't want that associated with The Last of Us. I don't want any controversy with that sort of rubbish. Leave her out of it. She's like 100 years old now. Ellie's supposed to be 14, going on to 19 in The Last of Us Part 2. Ellen Page is too old. She's not the kind of actor that's played a character that is like Ellie. I don't rate her as an actor, and that is pretty much my case for why Ellen Page is a horrible choice to play Ellie. But that aside, I am really excited for The Last of Us TV show. It's probably going to be a while before it comes out. We'll get The Last of Us Part 2 before then, which will tie us off, and then hopefully the show will launch at some stage afterwards. But yeah, super happy, really, really keen to see it all come, and I'll keep everybody posted with news as it comes, because you know I'll be amongst it all. Thanks a lot for hearing me rant on about this. You all know I love The Last of Us. So, with that being said, I'll throw it back to you guys in the show.
All right, mate. The Nintendo PlayStation is sold.
It has. So this is an update from the other day. We told you that it was up for auction, and I'm really disappointed that when the name came up of who bought it, it wasn't any of you dudes. Which means that none of you are rich enough to buy it, and that's now disappointing. Because I thought, I might, maybe not Radicus, but maybe an Az. Maybe she was hiding a few $1 million under a pillow or something. I don't know. Or maybe the elusive Kazakyle. He might be a millionaire bot. Who knows?
Who knows?
Anywho, stop giving away your secrets, Az. Okay, I'm sorry. Not under the pillow then. Don't look under the pillow, whatever you do. So, it was bought by a Mr. Greg. Now, I practiced saying his last name, and I was happy with how I said it. And now that I'm going to read it again...
You've just forgotten?
I've forgotten. So, I'm going to say Macklemore, just because that's McLemore. Is probably the best way of pronouncing it.
Okay.
If I say how it's spelt, McLemore is how you phonetically punch that out. Anyway, you're probably going, who? He was the creator of Pets.com.
Yes.
Which was a website back in the 90s for pet stuff. He sold half of it to Amazon, and then the other half went belly up. But in the meantime, he made a crap load of money, and now he buys bits of video gaming memorabilia and historical pieces. And what he has now done is added the Nintendo PlayStation to that collection. And he bought it for a cool $541,606.
Australian.
Yes. Plus the 20% on top of that.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. 20. Oh,
we all forget about that.
We forgot about the 20% on top. Yeah.
He would have paid another 20% on top of that to the auctioneer for that.
Wow.
So, yeah. That's a cool sum.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not sure if that includes the 20%, but I have a funny feeling it doesn't, because it's pretty close to what it was when I reported what the bidding was on. So
Yeah. So the big bit of news too that I found out is that the reason he bought it is he has been buying up, like you said, all this memorabilia because he's going to be making a video game museum of sorts.
Yep.
So this is just another piece to add to that museum, and apparently he's he made his millions not only on Pets.com, but he had the late 90s with that big blow up of. Startups and whatnot. So he made a few different ones and ended up selling most of them out. And the Pets one obviously was bought out by Amazon. So yeah, he's absolutely rolling in it.
Yep.
Good on him.
To this story, the people that sold it. Do you want to know how much they bought that for?
Sure.
Do you want to take a stab in the dark? How much they paid for it?
$35.
Whoa. Well, you're close. In the grand scheme of things, you're close.
What did they pay for it?
They paid $75.
$75 for it.
Yeah, which is 75 would have been US. So
$100 Australian.
Yeah, so it's not a bad profit.
That's a good turn. Yeah.
Except for one point, someone offered them $2.1 million for it, and they turned it down.
Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Yeah, look, that's what you get. No, look, and sure, they obviously weren't ready to sell, and maybe they thought they'd get more, but look, I'm going to say $75 to, what was it, 300 grand US?
Yeah.
That's not a bad. That's
a good investment.
That's not a bad investment.
That's a good investment,
especially for something that's just sat in your attic collecting dust.
Redicus says that it wasn't found in someone's attic beforehand.
That's literally what I.
Yeah. That's the story.
It was in his attic, and his son found it.
Yeah.
Stuck a picture up on Reddit of, hey, what's this kooky thing? And people went, that's a fucking Nintendo PS. How is it that you, a person that doesn't know what you got it? Motherfucker. So, ended up in the hands of the wrong people.
Oh, well, someone's got it now that'll take care of it.
Exactly.
Mate, while you're rolling, 3D video for Full Throttle.
I know. Do you remember this game?
I do remember this game.
I loved this game.
I did too. It was good fun.
So, for those of you who don't know, Full Throttle was a game that was made back in the sort of mid to late 90s. It was a LucasArts click and go adventure thing, a bit like Monkey Island and all those things.
Haven't they not long ago released a remaster?
Yeah, they did a remaster of it.
Yeah.
Not long ago. So it's a like I said, it was in the same style as like Monkey Island and the Indiana Jones games. It was about a bike, a guy called Ben who was the head of a bikie gang, and he gets embroiled in this conspiracy in the murder of the CEO and owner of Corley Motorcycles, and he somehow manages to get mixed up in the CEO gets killed, and his successor takes over and is trying to liquidate the business for money. You know, the old number 2 is trying to screw over number 1 story.
Yep.
Anyway,
That old chestnut.
it's a very cool game. I really enjoyed it. It was just something different. Anyway, there's a group of people called Red Knuckle who have made a full 3D rendered reimagining of like the intro to Full Throttle. It's not quite the exact same thing, but what's really cool is they've still used lines from the game and the music from the game.
All right.
So it sounds authentic, but it has this new slick look. It is super badass, right? It is. So it's this dude, Ben, he's a big square-jawed bikie, right?
Yeah.
And he's got this bike, and it's killer, right? So it's set in the future. We have hover cars and stuff like that. But he and his crew ride on, like, old-school wheeled hogs, right? And this thing is the king of hogs. It has, like, 6 or 7 exhaust stacks, like, pumping out the back of it. It has, like, a nitro booster thing. So when he fires that up, the whole... All the pipes light on fire, and he gets up on the back wheel and he just... Right? So he's smashing, cruising along, and then he sees this light twinkle on the horizon, and it sort of does that twinkle, and then it zooms in to see what's coming, and there's a space shuttle that's landed and slammed onto the road and is driving on this highway headed towards him. And then all of a sudden, it's rocket boosters fire. Like, it's like, we're going to run you over. And he's just like, oh yeah? Pulls over onto the middle line, lights his boosters, gets up on the rear wheel, and you just see him launch and just play this massive game with chicken. And then it cuts out and pulls up the Full Throttle. And I'm just like, that's some badass shit. I'm going to get a link to Luke so you can watch it if you like. But it is really cool.
All right.
Super cool.
So check it out down below. We should have a link there for you.
Yep.
Mate, I'm going to jump in with some E3 news.
Let's do it.
So E3, the Electronics Expo, is still going ahead. Maybe. So there's been at the moment the organisers behind E3 have been, reassuring everyone that it's still going ahead. Jeff Knightley has pulled out. There was another company which has pulled out, which I believe is IM 8-bit. They have pulled out as well, which is they're part of the creative team behind the scenes. And we've obviously got Sony's not going to be there. Microsoft has said yes, they're going to be there with Halo, Series X, and then the other plethora of stuff that they've got as well. But there's a few things that are happening at the moment around the world that's has some people questioning whether E3 can continue to go on the way it is. So E3 this year is 25 years old. Mm-hmm. 95 was the first one that was released. Mm-hmm. Well, the first one that was shown. Back then it was obviously a trade show. Mm-hmm. It's now more into, the public, getting influencers involved, and, being an expo and open doors, people on the floor, with those big showcases. Mm-hmm. we're in a society, and we're in a gaming industry which is getting more and more digital.
Mm-hmm.
And while I think I personally think there is still a place for expos.
Yep.
I like the idea of people getting together. When you're in a room full of people that are excited, you feel that level of excitement.
Mm-hmm.
That helps bring it up. Sitting at home watching something just doesn't have that same appeal. A lot of people are going that way, but for me personally, it doesn't have that same appeal for me.
Well, I think the other thing there is, and this is where it differs especially for us, the age people, is for us it's a way of getting interaction with developers and talking to them. It's a good way. It's a gateway into us talking to them, finding out what they're doing, so we can talk to you guys about it on the podcast and make videos on YouTube and put things up on Facebook. Without that, it gets harder to do that without that interaction. And essentially, that was what E3 was designed for originally. As a trade show, it was for people in the industry to have that level of connection. For the masses to come in, yes, that was a novelty in the beginning, but now they can still, for most people, they're just there to watch the events. Mm-hmm. And yes, there's an element of sensory immersion when you're there, and the added energy that comes with that.
Yeah.
But you still get all the information sitting at home watching on Mixer or YouTube.
Yeah,
and it's not the same. But for the masses,
yeah,
it doesn't. We're splitting hairs about what they want out of it.
Yes, exactly. Well, that's where a lot of things, and someone like Jeff Knightley believes that it should go more digital.
Hey, Editing Lucas here with a bit of a query. I'm not sure about this one. I've done a little bit of a Google and I can't see, but I don't know who this Jeff Knightley person is. I'm going to correct Snoogs on the off chance that I am correct here, but I think you're talking about Jeff Keighley, maybe? I don't know any Jeff Knightley in the E3 or gaming scene. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's Jeff Keighley. All right, back to the show.
More be a digital showcase with people presenting, their own way.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that sort of side of it. The other thing that's kind of where people are starting to think now, Los Angeles, which is where E3's held, has this week declared a state of emergency over the get out of jail free card, the coronavirus.
Yep.
There has been a spike in cases in the US. There's a lot of scared people, not only there but here as well. And that was what prompted them to declare a state of emergency. They've also, there's a lot of big things out there, on how to stop the spread of it, blah, 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 which people have heard enough times. But one of the big thing was, do not gather in confined spaces.
Yep.
E3 is hundreds of thousands or tens of thousands of people in a confined space.
And ever-growing in confined spaces, because once you get into some of the stands and stuff like that, you're actually cramming people into an even more confined space.
Yes, and as has been shown this week many, many times, people are stupid.
Yep.
So it's, like people that have had, thought they were infected, have gone and got a test done, while they were waiting for the results on the test, have gone out to concerts and shit, and then the tests have come back and said, yes, you're infected. So now there's, possibility of it spreading even further. But, now that just showcases the mentality of some people that it's not good to have that, so you've got to completely shut it down.
Yep.
So E3 is sort of looking a bit rocky this year. The question is, if they cancel it, or if they postpone it, do you think it can come back in an expo form?
It'll come down to the people who run it, whether their will is there or not. If they want it, they'll have it. I don't think this is a death stroke, because in reality they're not the only people doing it. The International Car Show has been cancelled.
Yes.
So the Chinese Formula One Grand Prix has been postponed.
Yep.
Bahrain is going ahead, but Bahrain has actually banned spectators from going.
Really? Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
So we're going to have a Formula One event that has no spectators at it. There is also Paris in France. They've banned they've pretty much banned any gatherings of more than 1,000 people.
Yep.
Have been cancelled.
And of course, these past couple of weeks we've seen GDC,
Yep.
which has been postponed,
Postponed.
and the mobile, whatever it was,
Yep.
was canned as well.
Yep. I don't think this is in isolation, so therefore I don't think that this is the thing that will kill E3.
No, I think E3 is too big to kill.
Yeah, look,
You know,
I don't want to go that far.
No. It'll evolve, it'll change.
Yep.
But I don't think it's something that can be just written off.
There's enough people that go every year, and there's enough really dedicated people that would attend that would cry out if they just went, "Oh no, we're going to do this digitally from now on."
Yeah.
And like I think the industry itself cry because, like I said, there's that level of interaction, especially from the media standpoint.
Yep.
They like, and I'm not talking about the IGNs and the Kotakus and all those. They have their contacts. They can call up Sony and any day of the week and get whatever news they can get out of them. It's the smaller. The influencers and stuff like that. Those are the people, and to be fair, to say that the industry ignores those people and thinks that it's not important, that's bullshit.
That's not true.
They know how important that is. They know how many people are watching vicariously through these people, that are listening to these people, who are taking what these people say and taking it to heart and going, yeah, no, that's my opinion too. You know, they're every man's man. You know. Yeah. Every woman's woman, you know, when it comes to not just gaming, anything, you know. If they say it's true, then it's gospel.
Yeah.
On that basis alone, I just can't see them killing the relationship between those people and the industry itself and that interaction.
Oh, there you go. It has to happen, Radicus has said, because in television, Amico will be there.
Okay. So tired.
Radicus, of course, he's the lucky one. He was over there when it was a trade show still. So
in my day,
that would have been very cool. I must admit, it's when you go and do these things as a trade show type stuff, it's a very different feel. Twice. Lucky
still
bugger.
Two times more than me.
Yeah, bugger. Exactly. All right, mate. Age verification for online interactivity is going well.
It's being discussed.
It's being discussed.
Let's put it that way. All right, so there is a government committee, and this is the name. I'm just going to read it so it is called Protecting the Age of the Innocence Committee.
Won't somebody think of the children?
Yep, that's pretty much it. So originally their mandate was to look into children's ability to access online pornography. Mm-hmm. And some things have come out of that. One of which is that they're saying there should be a mandatory age verification system for anyone trying to access internet pornography online.
Fair enough.
Which, you know, that sounds fair.
You got to show ID to buy grog. You got to show ID to get in the pub.
Yeah, and to be fair, like, and we were discussing before, it's stupid how easy it is to access porn on the internet. Like, it takes no effort at all.
Well, you got to get your pants down, of course.
The mechanics.
Oh, yeah.
They're different to how easy it is. So, anyway, through the committees looking into listening to evidence on this, on all these things, one of the pieces of evidence they looked at was the loot boxes in games and the flow and effect they have to, the quote is, the potential for loot boxes to act as a gateway to problem gambling and other hazardous activities. Mm-hmm. Once again, it's probably, you know, and they're looking and they're saying it's, whether it's real or simulated, it's promoting it. Like there's no one, two ways about it. So there was also the discussion that maybe age verification should be part of online gaming as well. The committee has the support of both the government and the Labour Party, so they're well and truly backed, government speaking wise.
So is this is an Australian?
Yes,
Oh,
this is an Australian committee.
That explains so much then.
So this is where it gets even more interesting. So the Labour Party has suggested that the committee could have been better because the IGA have not been given a chance to present evidence as part of this committee. They also said that any solutions that come out of it that affect the gaming sphere should include them because they're the gaming lobbyists for Australia.
Yep.
They should be part of those decision making. So that's Labor's spin on it. That's the stance they're taking. Now, this is where I guess we can have a discussion about it. Do you think it's a good idea? Do you not think it's a good idea?
When it comes down to anything, legislative that the Australian government's involved in, and especially when it's around the gaming sphere, we have one of the most ridiculed and ridiculous gaming classifications, board or process or whatever, in the world.
Yep.
It is an utter joke.
Yep.
And it's been called out many, many times. So the only way that I can see that it is an utter joke is that the people who are in charge are not educated.
Correct.
So how can someone that is not educated make an educated decision?
So I guess this is where the argument that the gaming lobbyists should be part of these decision-making processes.
Yeah, but the big question is too, how educated are the gaming lobbyists?
Well, I'd hope that they're really educated since they're lobbying on behalf of us.
Yeah, look, I can see it from both points of view.
Yep.
From a parent's point of view, then yes, it's like a safety net type thing.
Yep.
To have that as an added bonus.
Yep.
From
keep in mind, it's not the only suggestion that's been
No,
made.
I know.
It's just
But
the one
that's
that's pertinent to what we do. There was also they're suggesting that parents need to be educated, especially the online gaming stuff as well.
That's the bit that I would be lobbying for more so. Is better education for people who are not gamers. So for parents out there that don't understand the gaming world, that aren't gamers, that they've gotten to a point where their kids or they need to be educated about what they can do online, what they're exposed to, and what our classifications mean. So that a kid who is 12, 13 years old is not playing online unsupervised, is not playing an R-rated game online, it's not playing an R-rated game at all.
Yep.
And, has that level of supervision. And at the back end has the knowledge and the understanding because their parents have brought them up to understand, right from wrong and what you do and all that sort of jazz. And, I feel like I was brought up that way. My parents didn't know what a video game was. I can remember I was not allowed to watch The Simpsons for God knows how long.
Yeah.
And watching it back now, I kind of understand why.
Yeah.
But
now you've got kids. You're like, I understand.
Yeah, now I understand that the some of the undertones here. But it's just about having that everyone across the board needs to be educated in it better.
Yep.
And I think that's where my big stand is that, I'm all for you making decisions, but make sure it's the right decision.
Yep.
And I think the right decision needs to be down with, people need to be educated about what's happening and what's going on and how to protect yourself. Don't expect the government to protect you. You need to work out how to protect yourself and your children and explain it to them how to do it.
Yes.
All right, mate. Well, let's jump into the last bit of news. Another week has gone by, and another PS5 rumour has come out. Now, we've spoken about it before. I don't understand what the hell they're doing. But this rumour, so there was a big thing that blew up the other week about the Xbox Series X being 12-point-something teraflops.
Yep.
And something for the PlayStation come out at 9 teraflops.
Yep.
And, oh my God, the heavens were burning.
Yes.
Now, apparently, this is because at release, the PlayStation 5 is going to be a PlayStation 5 and a PlayStation 5 Pro.
Right.
this is where they're getting the conflicting information from. So there's some information that says the Pro is going to be 13 point something teraflops, and the standard is going to be the 9 teraflops.
Yep.
And this standard is supposed to be in line with the unannounced Xbox Lockheed?
Yeah.
The rumoured,
Oh my god, and you guys are gamers, and you're reporting on the news, and you've called it Lockheed. Oh, man, anyone knows it's Lockhart. Lockhart. God.
not less premium console.
Yep.
And so there's little bits of information. There's nothing set in stone.
Once again, could all be fixed if fucking PlayStation just opened their fucking mouths.
The price point. So a lot of the stuff that the PlayStation is using is going up in price.
Yep.
You know, they've had all their components for months and months. So I don't think there's going to be any issue there. But the base dollar price that people are looking at is $599 US, $600 US, which is $1,000 Australian.
Yep.
Now that brings us into PS3 territory.
Yeah.
So PS3 on launch was $1,200, I think, between $1,000 and $1,200, something like that. I can remember the guy that ran out first at
No, the big one,
the 60 gig,
the one that had all the bells and whistles, all the million ports in the front of it. That was $1,000.
Yeah,
and then there was one that was lesser that was worth not as much.
Yeah, I think the 40 gig was about $600.
Radicus is saying it was $799.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the PlayStation was $799?
Oh, I don't know. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. No.
So
either way, it doesn't matter.
So that's. I don't really have anything to say on it because there's nothing's official yet.
No.
But it does sort of explain where you're getting these two various things from.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't understand. I've said it before. I'll say it again. PlayStation's mentality on this, I don't understand at the moment. It's kind of like they've gotten to the end of the cycle and gone, oh, we're tired, we're just going to have a rest for now. And let someone else deal with it. Let the internet go crazy with rumours.
I'm not sure.
No idea.
I'm becoming very... Could give two shits at the moment. I'm just like, I don't care now. Just bring them out, let me buy the one that I want, and be done with it.
Yeah.
Because to be fair, I think in this room, we've kind of decided what we're buying regardless anyway, so...
Well, I'm still on the fence because I don't want to fork out, a week's wage for something that is going to have the same issues that the current one does.
Yep.
And if there's a Pro or a standard version at launch, okay, I'm going to want the Pro.
Yep.
I'd be stupid not to. But again, I don't know. Like the cooling is a very big issue for me.
What I actually find the most interesting about this whole thing is they're both releasing a standard and a Pro version from the get-go.
Yes.
Which means I find it really interesting when I assume we'll still get like the mid-cycle refresh.
Well, there's...
But what is it that's coming if we've already got the base model and a Pro version?
Yeah.
They've got kind of... Are we going to get the Uber Pro, the Uber Max, or whatever? Like the Xbox BJ, or what are we getting? Like, or is this is what we're getting? It's just going to be a facelift halfway through the...
Yeah.
But either way, I think that's kind of cool. Like I've always really disliked the mid-cycle refresh.
Look, we won't know anything until we know it, unfortunately.
No.
We can speculate all we want. Radicus has just come up in the chat that we were right. $1,000 for the 60.
Yep.
Yeah. August 2014. Standing in Pitt Street Wall, watching the guy come running out with one in his hands, and then he fell over. You were there with me.
Yes, I remember that. Just like, you got into PS3, you bastard. Oh, you tripped over. That's all good now. You gump.
Well,
actually, if you're listening to this podcast, sorry, man. But it was funny.
It was kind of funny. That's it for the news, mate. All right, so let's jump into some last words. So while we're here in last words, a quick shout out to Kaz, Radicus, and Az has left us. Tis. Couldn't wait till the end. Had to run away.
Yeah.
Oh well. Thanks for joining in, guys. And Radicus for the fact checking as well. Thanks, mate. Any shout outs for yourself?
No shout outs, but I do have. Can I get this toilet paper shit off my chest?
Okay, you can have your rant.
Right.
Here's Grejio with what's really grinds his gears as a last word.
So, I find this whole toilet paper thing really difficult to deal with.
Toilet paper gate.
Yeah, we can call it that. I think giving it a name is too much. Here's fundamentally what I have a problem with the whole toilet paper thing.
Yep.
So, about a month ago, we as a country were all slapping each other on the back, saying how proud we were that we come together in a crisis and we look after each other, and we're really good at like coming together and being a nation that stands up for each other. Yes. Right.
After couple of terrible weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Fires, floods.
Exactly. And you come together. To be fair, the majority of us have stuck our hands in our pockets and put through some coins at a faceless organisation that then spread the money to help people. To be fair, yeah, that's nice, but that's not coming together. That's anyone can stick their hand in their pocket and pull cash out. And it's proven now with this toilet paper thing that when it comes to the crunch, when it comes down to my shit versus your shit, we will literally stab each other in the back over fucking toilet paper. And I think that it's a fucking disgrace that we can turn around after slapping each other on the back and saying how we all come together to be in a situation where people are hoarding fucking toilet paper and like stupid amounts of it. Like stuff that will, if like this all blew over next week, they'd have toilet paper to last them into the next year. Which will create a scenario where it creates a vacuum where the mills that are now running round the clock to try and supply paper will now produce more paper than they know what to do with, because there's really not a shortage. And then some poor schmuck at the mill is going to lose his job in 3 months because they have to shut down the mill because they got too much toilet paper.
Yep. It's
fucking wrong. And it fucking fires me up that we are doing this. And the knock-on effect is you have selfish pricks at the beginning that just fucking store it all. Then you have the second wave of people that go, well, I don't want to miss out, so I'll fucking store it all. And then there's the third wave of people that actually just need toilet paper, but they go, well, I need to grab some more because I ran out this time and there's none left, so I have to grab what I can, which means that by the time you get to the fourth wave, there's no one for nothing. There's nothing for no one. And it's fucking wrong. As a country, we should be fucking ashamed. We should hang our heads in shame. I'm sorry. It's got me really fired up this week.
Hanging our heads in shame.
We should. We really should.
And I'm sitting here chuckling away because you can't see what he looks like. It's I don't disagree with any of that. I don't disagree with anyone. I think it's quite funny that people have been arrested over fights. They've been charged. Someone was stabbed.
Yep.
Earlier this week.
Can you imagine? Like, so what'd you go to jail for? I stabbed a person. Why? What'd they do? They
took my bog roll.
They took my bog roll.
Yeah.
Like, wow, that's a claim to fame. You should be proud of that. Or the fact that in like 6 months' time you got visitors come around to visit. You go, oh, I'm just taking you around to my house to show you around. Oh, don't worry about that room. That's my bog roll room because I got nowhere else to store it. Oh, you know why I can't park my car in the garage? Because it's full of bog roll and fucking pasta and fucking rice and fucking Lynx deodorant of all things. Fuck. Can you tell I went fucking shopping today?
This Radicus has said the supermarkets need to limit them. The supermarkets have limited them. Look, at the end of the day, people are scared, and unfortunately, it's just shown that when they're scared, they
just make irrational decisions.
Stupid.
Yeah. I get the fear. I do, but at the same time, you need to take a breath and think about it. Like, if you're taking...
I want to know where it started.
It's...
How did this start? Who came up with the idea this goes, let's go and hoard bog roll?
So there's probably a couple of things. There's probably a couple of drivers to that. There's the fact that in China it was like the first thing that started to dry up.
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, we're not China, right?
No, but people were buying it in bulk here to send to China
So
to make a profit.
I was going to say, there is a flow-on effect there. So,
Yeah.
But the first thing is, people go, oh, they ran out of bog roll in China. Now, keep in mind, there's cities that are quarantined, like cities that are in complete and utter lockdown. Military is surrounding them, not letting them out. Those cities have more people in those cities than we do in our entire fucking country. Right? So, go figure they're going to fucking start losing shit like that. We're not going to. Right?
No, well, most of it's made here as well that people don't understand.
Exactly.
It's...
So there's that. Then there's also the people who turn around and go on the media that sit there and go, you might want to stock up on some things. But people don't listen to the whole thing. They just hear, oh, I should stock up, which means I should fill my garage full of shit. No, if you listen to the next part of the sentence was, you probably only need 2 weeks. So if you get quarantined, you're covered for the 2 weeks. Guess what? I'm pretty sure one packet of bog roll is going to cover you for 2 weeks. If you're using more than 24 rolls of toilet paper in 2 weeks, I'm going to suggest you have a major problem and it's not fucking coronavirus.
Oh, I love seeing you get fired up.
Yeah.
Especially because I'm just sitting here giggling.
I know you find... I know there's lots of people that listen and find it funny when I get on and grind my gears, but... I just find it so frustrating. And like I said, there's lots of factors. I understand the factors, but it's just the fact that there's instantly it just goes from we were slapping ourselves on the back to just being selfish
zero
pricks.
to crazy in a matter of a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Oh well, that's some good last words for a change.
I know. I've been really quiet in the last words for the last couple of months. Like,
That's
I got nothing. And then all of a sudden, people hoard fucking bog roll, and I'm like, well. And to be fair, it's overtaken. I was almost going to have another rant tonight, but I was going to have a rant about Instagram because it's really pissing me off at the moment. I'm having troubles with it, and that's why I'm not getting a lot of stuff out at the moment.
Yeah.
On top of Xbox having its problems with not moving my stuff around, and then problems with my phone. So there's like this three-way battle to stop me from putting shit on Instagram. I was going to rant about that, but then I went shopping today and saw the fucking Wild West tumbleweeds rolling through the toilet paper aisle, and it just went fucking... I'm out.
Something snapped.
Yep.
All right. Well, for those still listening along...
They haven't just gone, well, now I know how Grejio feels about my hoard of toilet paper. Fuck that cunt. Sorry, I probably shouldn't have said that. Now I'm really getting fired up. I'm using
Now
all
he's
sorts
gone
of...
over the edge.
Yeah, I've gone over the edge.
All right, well, people running around, don't forget to hit up Aussie Gamers TV and Snooger Vision over on Twitch and Grejio XBL on Instagram.
Where the tumbleweeds are also growing.
When he has his rant about what's going on over there.
I'm locked out again.
Locked out again.
Back tomorrow. I can do something again tomorrow. Fuck. So annoying.
All right, mate. Well, let's call it a night and close it up. Mm-hmm. All right. Thank you very much to everyone that has listened to the show, and especially those that are still listening this far along. A super special thanks once again to the guys and girls and peeps and all that jazz that have been chatting along live. Greg, thank you, mate, for coming along.
My pleasure.
Yes, no worries. I'll go and get you a drink. She'd calm me back down. Lucas, thanks for the behind-the-scenes work this week. Hope you have fun and enjoy. I can't wait to hear your thoughts on The Last of Us show. Yep. To all of our listeners, feel free to continue any of the topics that we've discussed on this show over on our Discord channel or the Facebook page, which is going gangbusters at the moment. To get in touch with us directly, you can shoot us an email at info@theagexp.com. Whew. Don't forget to hit up our website, www.theagexp.com. Links, as always, are in the podcast show notes and descriptions. Well, that's all from me. I've been Snoogs.
I have been Grejio.
See you next time.
Well, that's the end of another show, and if you're still listening to this part of the show, then know this, we love you. Come and join our exclusive Agents of Age group on Discord using the link in the description. Just join the server and say hi, quoting, "May the age be with you," and you will be added as an Agent of Age. Subscribe to this podcast using the links that are in the description for your convenience. Thanks again, we love you lots. See you next time on the official podcast of the Aussie Gamers Experience.